Hey everyone, so I know that this side is completely lit up, but I'm doing this a little bit later and I'm at my dad's house. So yeah, I'm just gonna get on with it. So this video is gonna be teaching you how to clean and care for your Uggs. So if you don't know what Uggs are, I'm going to be using this as an example. Yes, it's dripping wet because I'm sorry I can't go a day without wearing these where I live because it is so snowy. But yeah, so this is one, and this is a Ugg Ultimate. So it has grips like that, and then they have the tall braid. So when you first get your Uggs, you're obviously most likely going to be getting them in a box. And in the box, they come with, this is probably with actually some other boots as well, you get a cardboard insert that will actually be in your Ugg. And that is actually really good to keep just because it's good to have your Uggs in shape and standing up at all times, because the more it does this, the more it's going to show creasing, which you can probably see a little bit right here, and they're brand new. I mean, again, this is being kind of picky, but it will, over a period of time, that will wear down your boots. So what you should do is either keep the cardboard, or if for some reason you threw it out or you didn't know or something, you can always either go buy, there's special boot inserts, or if you have a very thick magazine, I'm using my dad's GQ magazine, and then you roll it up like this and stick it in the inside of your boot. So it's going to be standing up straight like this. You won't have to worry about it. So when you take off your boots at all times, I know like this is a habit with a lot of people, and it's a habit with me too. Don't step on the heel, because over a period of time the rubber will come off, and even sometimes the braid will come undone. So try not to do that. Try to take them off with your hands. I know it takes a little bit longer, but it will make them last longer. And also, when you first get your Uggs, they're not going to come waterproofed, and you have to waterproof your Uggs, because if you don't, what's going to happen is snow is going to melt on them, and they're not going to stay as clean, and therefore you'll have to get new ones sooner. So obviously you don't want to do that. So I will link the website below. There are other products out there not made by Ugg that can actually waterproof your boots, but there's a whole kit for $20 on their website. It comes with the spray, the freshener for your boots, and the cleaner and the brush for $20, which is pretty good. I mean, you probably have to pay shipping unless you find like a free shipping coupon code, which I have not found one. But yeah, so this is one of them. I actually had to buy mine separately because they didn't have the kit back then. So this is the waterproofing spray, the water and stain repellent for the sheepskin and suede. And so what you'll have to do is you have to spray evenly around the boot, and what you're going to do is you don't want to drench it, of course. It has to just be lightly sprayed. You have to make sure you spray this outside or in a ventilated area. So like, you can do it in a garage if you're not planning on, like, you know, sticking around the garage. I personally don't think this smells like toxic or anything, but it's just a good thing to do. Then when you want them to dry, because they'll need 24 hours to dry before you wear them, and don't put them near a heat vent or a radiator or anything like that. Don't take a hairdryer to it, because any heat like that can actually cause cracking in the suede, and then that's obviously going to age your boots quicker. So try not to stick them near a radiator, heater, or anything like that. Just a very dry place, and have, you know, if you're worried about water, maybe have a boot tray or a towel underneath them, just so if it's gonna, you know, I don't know, sometimes the color comes off a little bit. That's like, well, usually when you use a brush, but yeah. So just if there's going to be water dripping or something, good to have a towel or a boot tray. And then the other thing is, sorry, there's the cleaner and conditioner, which you should probably use this. I say I use mine probably after every winter, unless like for some reason I would go tramping in a mud puddle, which I wouldn't try to do. Try to keep like rain boots nearby, like either in your car or someplace where you can go and get them easily, because these aren't, even though you're waterproofing them, it's not good to wear them out in the rain or something. So try not to do that, or if you realize you're doing that, like have an umbrella so they won't get as wet. So this, what you'll do with this is, it will give you good instructions on the back, but basically you take, you don't apply this directly to your boot. You actually have a sponge, or some people use a cloth, but you could do that. I actually heard on the website you could use something like a wool light or something, but personally I don't want to do that, only because if I have questions, I think it would be more easier, like if I decide to call the Ugg company and ask them some questions, it'd probably be more likely they can answer it. Could answer the question if it was about their product and not something like wool light. And again, the kit's like $20. You get tons of stuff, so personally I think that's better. But anyway, so you get this, and so you want to do half water and half of the cleanser, so you have to measure and stuff. They can't be soaking wet, of course. That's probably why you should actually waterproof them before you cleanse them. When they come to you, they're basically clean, so you don't have to worry so much about that. Some people do clean them when they get them, but I've never had an issue with them coming dirty. And then the other thing you need is, when you clean them, is this brush, and I know it's like the colors on here, this is mainly from my old boots, but yeah, so you'll get this. This is for suede. This is like an iron brush. I don't try to use this, because what it does is it will actually pull up more of the fibers in the suede, and personally I think it ages it quicker. So I usually use the rubber side right here. The sides here are for like the seams, like if there's some dirt caught in the seams. You have to be super careful though, because you can rip the seams. So I personally would be like better off taking like my non-sharp fingernails and trying to get like dirt out, or just use water. And then this is for this is seams, this is like the edge or something, and don't try to touch the braid with this, because you will take out the braid and it's very hard to repair, and even when you do repair it, pretty much doesn't look so good. So I would be very careful with this, only use the rubber side. And when you get these brushes, now this is not by Ugg, this is by I don't know if I'm going to say Kiwi, or I don't know, I'm wanted to say Kiwi, but I don't think so. So it comes with this, and then it comes with an eraser. This is like, this I feel like looks like a eraser like you would use in school, but I feel like it's a little bit different. But anyway, so you would apply this to the stain. Usually this is like with salt stains and everything. With salt stains, try to make sure the salt is dried, because if it's like wet, like from the snow or whatever, and I don't know who has to deal with salt in the winter, some people may, but if you let it dry, that's better, because if it's wet and you try to brush it with either one, then actually it could spread it. So personally, I try to wait till it's dry or semi-dry. Then I would rub this gently on it, and then you brush this in the same direction. So basically you want to be taking the boot and brushing it in this direction, not this direction, because that's going to actually push the fibers back, and you try not to do that if you can. So yeah, that's how you would get stains out. And also I recommend getting a pair of insoles, which I personally, replaced these after one winter. I think once I replaced them after 2 winters, but that's really good. And in my opinion, some people have different opinions on whether to wear Uggs with socks or without socks. And in my opinion, I always wore them with socks. Try not to wear like thick socks underneath them unless like your boot is like really big or something. But because bigger socks will stretch out the Uggs more, because obviously your foot will be, you know, semi-bigger because of the thick socks. But try to get normal socks. If you don't wear socks, and I understand that the sheep skin or sheep wool or whatever is the name of this, what it does is, yes, it takes the moisture away from your foot, so your foot is not feeling drenched. However, it will cause matting in the fur of the Ugg quicker compared to you wearing a sock. So personally, I mean, I've thrown on my Uggs to like go run somewhere and I haven't worn socks, but if I'm really going to be out and about with them on, I always wear socks. So that's just my preference, and personally, from what I've heard, that from what I've heard from other people online and everything, it seems like they'll last longer if you do wear socks. And to freshen up your Uggs, what you can do is you can do, I've personally have taken Febreze, not directly sprayed it in there, but kind of sprayed it above it and kind of let it just drift down. I don't really have an issue with my shoes really smelling. But what you can do is, I'll put it down below. There's a thing I found online of how you can use baking soda and stuff. So you would have to leave that in there for a bit, shake it out. But that's kind of can get a little messy. So personally, I just go with Febreze or something. So yeah, I think actually that's pretty much it. But yeah, so definitely think of buying those kits and everything. Try to not step on the heels, get all the supplies. Oh, and also be careful what you do in your Uggs. I know I said this with the rain, but I notice even when I squat with the Uggs that it will actually bend the suede a bit, and that will also cause creasing, which will make them look a little bit older. So just I'm not saying like don't do anything in the Uggs, but just it's good to just be cautious of what you're doing. Don't go hiking in them. If you're going to go through the woods or something, that might not be so smart. You might want to get a pair of actual hiking boots. But anyway, so I hope that's it. If you have any more questions, let me know. I know this was a little rushed, but my battery's blinking at me right now, so I'm going to let everyone go. Have any more questions, and you just comment below. And I hope this was extremely helpful, and I'll talk to everyone later. Bye.